something has changed massively. Not only is my hair straight, it is now relatively blonde, but I'm going to talk about that in the later part of this episode. If you guys want to know what's going on with me and the reason behind the blonde hair, I'll leave it to the later end of the episode and get on with why we're here. Excuse the cup of tea that you can probably see. I am really ill at the moment. I think I've got a vomiting bug, which is really attractive. And I've been promising this video, I think, since I actually started my channel. But I have my favourite superhero top on, which means only one thing. It's superhero time! I am going to be reviewing all new Wolverine. Not just because Wolverine / X-23 is one of my favourite superheroes, but also it was the first collection I started collecting after all my comics went, unfortunately. But I think this is a great series to start with, actually, because I'm really enjoying it. So my plan is to do issue 1 to 5 at the moment, and then do them in issues of 5. If you didn't know how X-23 / Laura Kinney became Wolverine, very summarised. Basically, Wolverine died, X-23 is the clone of Wolverine, and she took up his mantle. And I found a really nice quote on the internet, which I'm going to read. It says, "All I know is, while I'm wearing this, he isn't gone, and neither am I. I'm Laura Kinney, I'm X-23, and I'm Wolverine." Okay, so what I'm going to do is take you through each, sorry my pyjama bottoms, take you through each individual comic, pointing out what I like, the main sort of points of each comic, like the storyline points, and show you some of the artwork I really like. So obviously I'm going to kick it off with the first issue. With that in mind, there probably are going to be a couple of spoilers, but if you like comics, I would really recommend you buying these and reading them for yourself, because I'm not going to tell you everything. I'm just going to tell you the bits I find really interesting and show you the bits I like. I'm not going to sit here and show you the whole comic. So, in issue 1, Wolverine starts out in Paris trying to save the assassination of a man. When she finds out who the mystery assassin is, spoiler, she looks exactly the same as Laura. Only Wolverine realises this clone can't feel pain, and the person who looks like Laura ends up killing herself. What do I like about this issue? Well, I love the fact it starts with action straight away. Wolverine's first line is "move," which shows action has taken place right away. They've really gotten down to the whole action thing and the storyline basically from the first page, and that's great because that kept me gripped and hooked. Making a very general comment about all 5 of the issues I'm going to be reviewing, the artwork is absolutely incredible. Like, just look at this one. Look how fierce she is, but also how vibrant the colours are. I think they've just captured her perfectly, because she is like really hard and really fierce, and she's a great clone for Logan. So I really like the artwork in this. But my favourite part about this comic was the beautiful homage they did to Logan. He takes up actually the biggest proportion of this comic, and I thought that's really good because it really satisfied my Wolverine needs. Like, there were 2 Wolverines in this. And also, I was introduced to Marvel through Wolverine, so he's always going to be a really poignant character for me, so I was really glad they decided to stick him in. And my favourite line is actually, he says something that's like a twist on what his catchphrase is. I'm just going to read it to you. It says, "You're the best there is at what you do, but that doesn't mean you have to do it." And I thought, oh, that's really nice, because obviously if you're a massive Wolverine fan, you'll know his catchphrase, you'll know what he was saying. It's in almost every comic that I've personally read with Wolverine in. And I just thought that was a really nice way to pay tribute to Logan. Okay, so on to issue 2. And issue 2 starts at Alchemist Genetics Laboratories, which is basically the place where the clones of Laura were made. And Wolverine is tasked by them to hunt down the 3 other clones of Laura because they claim that they blew up the laboratory. Now Wolverine finds these clones and realises there is more to the story that Alchemist hasn't let on to. So she becomes really doubtful, and she doesn't trust them, especially when they get agents to follow her. But I love this issue because it's really funny. Like, the youngest clone is absolutely hysterical, and the scenes with her and Wolverine in Wolverine's flat actually made me laugh out loud. They were really funny. So this issue ended with them, Wolverine and the clones, being attacked by Alchema's security and also then being shot by Taskmaster, and he was completely new to me. I've never read anything with him in, I don't think, so it was nice the fact he was introducing me to new characters as well. The third issue for me was a bit of a filler issue. Wolverine finds out after escaping the attack that the clones are actually dying and that they were made at Alchema's genetics. So she takes them to one of my favourite characters, and I cannot wait for this film, Doctor Strange. But even though this is a filler issue, it's still really good because there was loads and loads of action in there, which is what we like as comic readers of Wolverine. So even though it was a filler, it wasn't bad. Like, it's crucial, I think, to developing the plot, and they still managed to make it interesting with all the action scenes. Out of Doubt issue 4 has been my favourite issue that I've read so far, basically because Doctor Strange is in there and I love him. I think he's great, and also he's teamed up with one of my all-time favourite characters, so I was a really happy girl when I found out this was happening. So with the help of Doctor Strange, Wolverine finds out that nanites, I think that's how you pronounce it, are destroying the clones from the inside. That plays prominently in the 5th issue, but I still want to talk about this because this issue was hilarious. There was lots of funny scenes with Doctor Strange and the clone called Bellona, because Bellona just likes to blow shit up. She's really destructive. For example, Bellona actually released a massive monster from a cupboard that was in Doctor Strange's room because she shot at it because the cupboard was winking at her. And that for me is like, oh, I love Doctor Strange for that because he is so peculiar. And only that sort of character would have like a portal for a demon of the underworld in his like living room or something. But I also really enjoyed issue 4 because it contained the page that I loved the most out of this whole series that I've read so far. And it is this page, because it shows us the whole origins and the life of X-23/Wolverine. And I absolutely love it because I thought, what a nice way to recognise who she is and her origin stories, and the fact that they haven't changed it. Like, they have her self-harming up here, they have her being pimped out here, and a lot of people don't actually know that because, especially in like the newer Marvel Now comics I've read, they didn't mention this at all really. Like, we knew X-23 was a troubled character, but we didn't realise the extent of it. And by doing and showing us how mentally bad she was and in a really dark place, it lets us understand the character more and understand how far she has come, especially as taking the mantle of Wolverine. So issue 5 starts with Wolverine and the clones trying to steal an Ant-Man suit because they know nanites are the ones that are slowly killing off the clones. Because of this, they run into the path of the Wasp, who decides to help Wolverine. So Wolverine and the Wasp go into the body of one of the clones, Zelda, to try and personally fight off the nanites and kill them. But it turns out the nanites have a trap when you like personally attack them. So as soon as Wolverine and the Wasp try and kill them, the whole laboratory are attracted and security come and they try and kill the clones again. Spoiler, one of the clones dies. But I'm not going to tell you which one. You have to read it for yourself. And I really like this issue because there is a lot of character development in here. For example, Bellona, the clone who just wants to attack everything, actually smiles. She shows human emotions, and I think that's great character development. And personally, I felt I related with her more in this because she was very detached. She was more robotic than the other clones. Also, Wasp says something to Wolverine that I really like, which shows how well Logan mentored X-23/Laura, whatever you want to call her. Wasp says, "It's just Logan would already be over there yelling and blindly hacking the thing to pieces. And Wolverine replies, "We may have to destroy hundreds of these things. We need to find the most effective way to do so." I like that because it shows the characters actually stopping and thinking. Unlike her earlier days where all she needed was the trigger sent and it would like send her off in a blind killing spree. But I did really like this issue, and to be honest, I really like the whole series. Like, I can't wait to start with issue 6. It's a really good series and I can't recommend it high enough. So I'm gonna give it 5 Snikts out of 5 because I really enjoyed reading this. There's a lot of action, and especially if you love the characters. And it was a really nice series to get myself back into Marvel and back into reading comics. Okay, so very quickly I'm gonna discuss the whole hair choice and why I decided to go blonde. Or back blonde, I should say. Naturally I am blonde, which a lot of people find really hard to believe because I've been brunette for like 8 years. A lot of my friends know me as brunette, so this was a massive shock to them yesterday when I uploaded all the selfies. A lot of people have said it's a massive change, and it is. Like, I still haven't gotten used to it. But I decided to make such a change because I feel I've entered a new chapter of my life without that sounding really cliche and really cringe. I'm in a really happy place at the moment with myself, with what I'm doing, with the direction I'm going in. And I took like a really hard year last year. Last year wasn't a very good year for me personally. And this year, the start of 2016, has honestly been one of the best years that I can remember having so far. Like, I'm really enjoying my course. I've made some lovely new friends. I've stayed in touch with some really amazing friends, and I'm really happy. I'm in a really happy, positive place. So that reflects on the hair. And also I've seen a bit of a mental shift with me as well. I said in my introduction video, which I'll leave a link down in the comment for you guys to go and watch if you want, that I was a really shy person. And I was always the bucky nerdy girl in the corner that didn't really want to involve herself, even though I did with academic things. I didn't really like socialising that much, without that sounding really sad. But now, especially at the start of 2016, I realise that I have an inner confidence that has suddenly bloomed. Like, it's come from nowhere. And I realise it's because I'm actually happy with myself. Like, a lot happened last year. A lot of it out of my control. A lot of it I can't change. And if I could go back in time, I would take things extremely differently. And do things differently and probably be more measured about things, and also be a lot harder. I've realised I'm a lot of a harder person, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because I've stopped caring what people think about me. People who don't matter. I care about what my friends think of me, I care about what my family thinks of me, I care about how I come across to you, how I want to come across in interviews and in the professional world. But random people who I come across, or people that I really don't like, I don't care anymore what they think of me or what they say about me, because I am finally happy. In saying that though, if you're a girl who has recently gone blonde like me, but also has like super dark eyebrows, like at the moment I have gold eyeshadow on them, can you just comment down below on what you do with them, because I have no idea what to do with my eyebrows right now. Like, they are blacker than my soul and my hair is brighter than my future, and to me it's just really weird looking in the mirror and seeing how different the two colours are. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this style of video. There are a lot more spoilers than I do in my book reviews, and tell me if you guys like it, because I want to start collecting more comics and slowly build my collection back up. Not just to what it was, when I foolishly give away a hell of a lot of comics, but have a series of comics that I'm interested in collecting. And also comment down below comic lines you think I'll like, because I definitely want to check more out. and do more videos like this. So please like, comment, subscribe, whatever you feel like doing. Follow me on Twitter, follow my book Instagram as well. I'll leave links and info down there. And all that remains to say is thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!